don't we, guys? What if this says reset lowest position to 0? It says always check against the first guy. Well, we need to find the first unsorted guy, which means we need another for loop. Or we can do a while loop. We need to find the first open position. Okay? Cool. All right. So again, this will run through my whole list, and I can say if has been sorted of I, right? So everyone understand what this for loop does? It finds the first guy who's not been sorted. So this lowest position, lowest number, I need to increase their scope. So I'm going to declare them in another place. Right? I won't delete these lines. I'll just remove the part where I give them a data type. I'll put that.
Why does it know that it's been sorted now, though? What makes it know?
Give me one second. Lowest number is... Okay. Currently this is asking, this whole while loop only executes while our variable called isSorted is false. So long as we change somewhere in this for loop for isSorted to be true, this will break when we're done sorting.
Okay.
Currently I have that asking if our finished array, the sorted array, is completely done. Okay? So we might be able to change this and make some better code, but we'll leave it as is for now. We grab the first guy who's not been sorted. Not been sorted, then you are our lowest position. Right? We just need someone to be the first comparison. You can get a lower number. Lowest number. Let's just copy this code up again. So this will find the next is open spot. The first time this executes, since no one's been sorted, it'll grab the guy at 0. Now to make sure this doesn't, actually it doesn't really matter. Because it's going to finish the for loop, it's always going to start at the end, at the far end of the list. That really doesn't matter. If we want to start at 0, we can tell this to break. A break statement ends the for loop, ends the while loop, ends any loop. So as soon as this condition hasn't been sorted, happens once, we can end our loop. Now when we're looking for the lowest number, all of our comparisons are against someone who's never been sorted before. And if he finds no one lower than himself, he can take the next spot, and he's now on the list of things that have been sorted. Right? Has been sorted of that position, that's true. So we find someone who hasn't been sorted, we find the current lowest, and we sort them, and we add up to next sort position. We don't really even need this, now that I think about it. We can just say, in this while loop, when next start position is equal to array length. If everyone's been sorted, if our next sort position, so if I sort 4 numbers, next sort position will start at 0. Then we'll go to 1, then to 2, then to 3, and then it's going to stop. Right? When it gets to 3, and it finds the next lowest, it'll add the next sort position. The next sort position will go to 4, but it can't sort for place 4. Because 4 is equal to the length of our array, 4. It'll end. So actually, I gave us more than we need to work with. We already have a better solution. Excuse me. Well, next question doesn't equal. That way it'll end when they store the same number. So, we look through whoever hasn't been sorted, we find anyone who's not been sorted, we grab them. Then, we go for loop, we grab everyone on the list, we say, are you lower than our current guy? And have you not been sorted yourself? So in the last run, when there's only one guy who hasn't been sorted, it's going to come here and it's going to say, well, I can't compare myself, but I can compare to everyone who's been sorted. So these dependencies of the starting position, this whole code will get skipped, and will get added to the next spot, start position will go up, and we will finish. This while loop could also just be a for loop, counting up that sort position. They will do the same thing. We only get the next sort position to go up. So again, I kind of, to make more elegant code, I made this a for loop. Next sort position. 0. Kind of a long name. Cycle. Cool. Is anyone lost? Okay, that's okay. Because I'm asking for, do you have any questions and you guys are quiet? Or you're comfortable saying you're lost? Okay. We want to make sure this code runs and has no errors and sorts. Cool. Okay, items. Oh, I was going to do one more thing. It's currently not printing out my sorted list. I'll do that real quick, and then we'll go over it. I just want to make sure that I'm not. Right, so. This should be the sorted array. Cool. Maybe I'll put commas in between. We'll print out that value, comma, space. Just some format stuff so we can see what happens.
This is just so it prints out it? So it says it?
Yeah, this is going to display the sorted list.
Alright. Because it wasn't doing it before?
Alright.
Why did it run when it wouldn't do it before, though? Like, why would it run without displaying it before?
Oh, because I haven't written any code to say print out the sorted answer.
Okay.
So it still runs. It wouldn't have any errors. Sorry, I should apply by them. I'll do an 8. So 6, 7, 5, 3. Oh, no. Alright, so I took in an 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, and it said 8, 6, 7, 5, 3. That should go 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know it's really tiny and not. What is this like follow alarm? No, I don't do that. Oh well. Anyway. Alright, there we go. Anyway. And that's how I get the type in long. Anyway, cool. So let's go to the show again. We'll start at the beginning. If there's anything I didn't use. I think we didn't get export position. Or D either. This was helpful, this was helpful. stream using namespace SUB, kind of the standard setup we do when we're grabbing inputs and outputs. Now we have an input array. Does everyone understand me up until, let's say, here? Right, when we were just getting input. That all make sense?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the sorter. How many items do you wish to sort? We store the total number of items in our list. That number will never change, right? No matter what happens, we're only going to work with that same set of numbers. So array length will never change at this point. Once we grab array length from the user, it's constant, right? So it's not constant the keyword.
There you go.
I just mean that it's not going to change. I never want to affect this number. Okay. Same with the input array. I never want to ruin my input array. Whatever the user gives me, those are the numbers I need to sort. So they say, here's how many numbers I'm going to give you. That allows us to initialize any lists we want to make. In this case, I have 3 lists. The input one, I'm going to say, do not modify, right? I don't want to mess it up. Has been sorted just keeps track of if a number has been sorted yet. And sorted array is going to be the one I want to display at the end of my code. For now, from there to here. So ignore the green. In fact, let me delete it temporarily. Right? So I decide how many items I wish to sort. We store that in array length. I initialize my 3 lists. They're all empty lists right now. And then I grab the input. Everyone feel comfortable with this for loop? This for loop just says, enter a value. And then it takes user input and stores that at position I. So if I said I have 6 numbers to store, array length will be 6. It'll count up from 0 to 6. And whatever input I put in, we'll store them in order. The first thing I enter will go into position 0. The second thing I enter will go into position 1 until my full list is finished. Is that all good?
Yeah.
Everyone feels comfortable with for loops? I only hear one person saying yes. So if anyone else is lost, question.
Why do you need an array for a Boolean? I thought it's going to only be true or false, so it can only be 2 values, right?
I have 3 lists, one of which is of type Boolean. So my has been sorted is of type Boolean because whether or not it's sorted is only a true or false value. Is that your question?
Didn't you make an array out of it? No.
Right here, in lines 20, 21, and 22, I'm initializing 3 different arrays. Right? They all have brackets. They all have the new statement. Input array is what the user is going to give me. Has been sorted, I'm going to set every value in has been sorted to false. It's just for me to keep track of, have I put some number in order yet? So if you're looking at the second for loop, it's setting every has been sorted to false. This is part of the initializing the individual values. Right? This initializes the array. Here I'm initializing every value in my array. But here is where I need to just get input from the user. So every value in my input array should equal the numbers they enter in the order they have entered them. Does that clear up your question? Cool. And again, the third array, I'm not going to do anything with yet. It's the one that I want to display to the user. So whenever I finish sorting, he's going to be the one to keep track of those changes. Because if I start trying to sort stuff inside of my input array, I could actually mess up. I don't want to ever mess up the starting set I'm going to use. So here is just initializing every has been sorted to false. That way, when my computer is running my code and it's saying, hey, do I need to sort this guy? Everyone should say, I have not been sorted. You need to sort me. And once I find the lowest number, I'll say, okay, he has been sorted now. I know he is the lowest number of whoever's left in the group. But they'll have to start false or else I would accidentally skip someone. And again, I'm just taking out the actual code where I'm doing the sorting. So I take an input, set everyone has been sorted to false, and then just display my sorted array. Everyone feel comfortable with those parts so far? Alright. So then all the parts where we get lost then, hopefully will be in this green code. If I minimize this. Right? So from lines 35 to 59, which fun little features of Visual Studio. You see this little checkbox I can do? It's neat. I like that. Anyway, so from 35 to 59 is where stuff got a little funky. Let's start with where it begins. I have a for loop. My for loop is going to count from 0 up to the total numbers in my list. What I'm doing is I'm taking my empty sorted array, and I'm going in order. I'm saying, all right, here's an empty sorted array. Let me figure out what to do in the first empty slot, then fill the second empty slot, and we're just going in the sorted array. So this for loop is going to start at 0 in that empty array and go up. I'll use my notepad, we'll talk about this. Let's say, for example, I'll save this. One name, let's say in this example, I get to the first part of my code. It says, how many numbers do I wish to sort? And I'll choose, let's say, 6 numbers, okay? This is going to ask for me to input those 6 numbers. And I'll do 3, 5, 12, 9, 0, 3 again. Right? So here's the list we're going to use, and here's how many items in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. We all get so far? Yeah. Alright. So this will be my input array. Right? Input array will equal that. The 6 is my array length, right? If I go to line 19, the input to array length. So here are my current values for these variables. Something like that. Right. And lastly, my sorted array should be empty. It'll look like this. Blank, 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 blank. And my has been sorted array. I'll just shorten that to has sort for now. It'll look like this. False, 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 false. Cool. Everyone feel good right now? Is anyone lost or confused by this? Anyone have any questions? Okay.
All those numbers.
So we're going to count from 0 up into the number of items, which is how many? 6. It's going to go from 0 to 6. And it's going to fill in the sorted array. So the first for loop does what? It counts from 0 to what?
6.
To 6. So it's going to run through every item in the list. All the items. It's going to ask if they haven't been sorted, set them to lowest position, and grab their number. So it's going to reference has been sorted. In this case, I find someone at position I. So for counting at 0, it's going to start at 0. It's going to go look at has been sorted 0. Is that set to false currently, you guys? Yep. It is set to false. So let's store our first guy we found. Let's put him in lowest position and lowest number. I'll say low position, low num. What's lowest position equal right now?
3.
Lowest position?
0.
0. Lowest position got set to I, right there. Lowest position equals I. So we started counting I at 0. Lowest number equals the input array at lowest position. So what is lowest number equal to? Let's work backwards. What's lowest position?
0.
It's 0. What's the value at input array at position 0?
6.
Position 0?
Oh.
Here's input array. Input array of 0 is 3. And lowest number equals that value. So what does lowest number equal? 3. Anyone lost?
But we have 0 in the input array.
Yes.
What?
We have 0 as a number in the input array.
Yeah.
3, 5, 12.
So we
0.
counted from 0 up to 6, right?
Yeah. But 0 is one of the 6 numbers.
Correct.
So that doesn't make the lowest number?
Oh, we haven't found the lowest number yet.
Okay.
Just for now, just worry about what the code's actually doing. it's just trying to find the first guy that hasn't been sorted.
Okay.
So it started counting at 0. It said, have you been sorted? You haven't. Has been sorted is set to false at 0. So grab the position I, which worked on the first time, 0. Lowest number, 3. Right? The lowest number is just, I need a starting point to do all my comparisons. So let's grab someone who just hasn't been sorted. We'll claim he's the lowest until someone proves us wrong.
Okay, so just take something that's
Right.
not gonna get.
These two are going to change a bunch.
Okay.
But right now, I just need to grab someone and say, you know what? Act like you're the lowest guy until we find another number who's better than you.
So just take the starting point.
Just pick the starting point. Exactly.
Okay.
Cool. All right. And that's why these are all false. It's saying any one of these numbers can be a good starting point. We all need to get sorted. Now this break statement, this is a new one. If you didn't know this, this would still work without it. Break says
It stops.
end the loop. If I'm inside of a for loop or a while loop, stop running. If I didn't put this break, and when I got to here, line 46, when my for loop finished, what would be my lowest position? Let's pretend the break isn't there.
3 again?
The break's gone. So it's going to count from 0 to what?
6.
0 to 6. And when does this if statement execute? When does this happen? If
the number hasn't been sorted.
right, but think about it more literally. If the value in the array has been sorted, is false.
Okay.
So when this for loop finishes,
This is the computer.
what's my lowest position and lowest number going to be? Again, when does
3.
this statement happen?
If the number hasn't been sorted.
If has been sorted is false.
Yeah.
And all of them are currently false, correct?
Yes.
So since they're all false, it's counting from 0 up into the end. The last guy that sets lowest position will be who?
3.
It'll be this last 3. And that position will be
6 or 5. Because it's the minus 1.
it counts 0. When it counts up to 6, 6 is no longer less than array length, right? Because 6 is equal to 6. So we'll grab position 5. Because every time this runs, it's going to overwrite lowest position and lowest number since they're all set to false. If I take out that break, it's going to just start looking at the end. Makes no difference. Doesn't matter. All that means is the computer had to run a little bit longer. I put it in the break to save us that tiny, unmeasurable fraction of computer time.
Huh.
Honestly, in an application like this, we would not be able to measure the difference that break adds. It just decides, am I going to start grabbing from the left or the right? Completely irrelevant. Doesn't matter where we start, so long as we're only grabbing whoever's the lowest.
Okay.
So I'll put the break back in. We'll say, as soon as it finds one guy to fill the role, one guy to be the starter, it stops. Our lowest position is now what? Breaks back in, so instead of it grabbing the last one, it's grabbing the first one. The position is 0, and number is 3. So the 3 it goes down. Okay. So I've finished the first for loop. Just found someone to do comparisons on that isn't already sorted. The second for loop counts from what to what?
To 5.
0 to 6.
0 to 6 again.
Yes. The reason why I'll only count to 6 is going to check if the current number is less than the target number, right? And then it's going to add at the end of it. So the first time it'll be 0. 0 is less than 6, add 1. 0 is less than 6, add 1. 1 is less than 6, add 1. 2 is less than 6, add 1. All the way up to get to 5. Say 5 is still less than 6, add 1. That 5 will now be 6. Then it's going to say, is 6 less than 6? No. Stop counting. So it does count from 0 to 6, even though there are only array positions from 0 to 5. So because it's going to stop running on that 6th one, and it won't do any of the code. Okay. So when it starts this for loop, lowest position is set to 0, and our lowest number thinks is 3. Again, these were just the starting point. Add a starting point. It's going to run through every number in our array, and it's going to first ask, hey, this position right here, is that the current lowest position? And let's pretend this is our first run, and lowest number is 3, and lowest position 0. So when I is 0 that first time, is this if statement going to be true or false? The first part of that if statement is what? Anyone can tell me what that says?
If I isn't equal to the lowest position in the list?
Correct. And what is our current, well, don't say in the list, just that variable. I think sometimes, because I name my variables these things, you guys don't jump to conclusions, because if someone names something, has been sorted, but didn't use it, it wouldn't be keeping track of who's sorted. It's your implementation, not your name for the variable that decides what it does.
Okay.
I tried to make the name has been sorted also keep track of who's been sorted. So if I isn't equal to lowest position, which is just some number, and what's the current value? Because in our last for loop, it decided that the lowest position was 0 and the lowest number was 3 as a starting point. Now the first time this executes, I is what? And what is the lowest position? So, does 0 not equal 0?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes. Does this statement, it skips, and it says, oh, I'm done. Add 1 to I. I is now what value? 1. Does 1 equal lowest position? No. So it's going to add the second part of the if statement.
Adds 1 to 4.
And the value in 1, the first, right, this is 0 spot, this is 1 spot. Is that just false or true?
False.
It's just a false. So this will now execute. Finally, we're asking if the number is big or small. We're finally at that point. Right? But first we have to make sure we weren't doing any sorting on someone who's already been sorted. That's what all that was for. So it's input array of what value? What's I right now?
0.
I is 1, you guys.
Alright,
Right? Zero got skipped here.
because we moved ahead.
Exactly. 0 plus plus, I is now 1. 1 doesn't equal 0, and has been sorted in position 1 is false, so we can run.
So we moved to
2 zeros equal 1 now?
What's that?
2 I plus plus, so 0 plus 0 equals 1?
Plus plus just means plus 1.
Plus 1.
That's all that means.
Okay.
If you want, you could write this as, and this code will be unchanged. That also works.
So then if we're at the next one where the input array, which would be 1.
Input array at position 1, which is here, is that less than our current lowest number, which is being stored here.
No.
5 is not less than 3.
Yeah.
So will this code run?
Yes.
These two lines.
Oh, yeah.
These two lines will not get reached because 5 was not less than 3.
So then we'll just say it's done and move on.
Yep, and it's going to go back up to here, and now what will I be equal to?
2.
Exactly. Okay, sounds like we're starting to get it a little bit. I think we'll finish running through this loop. It's eventually going to ask, position 2 is also false, and has been sorted, or I is now 2 doesn't equal lowest position, has been sorted at position 2 is false, so it's going to get to here. Input array of position 2 is this number. Is that less than current lowest number?
No.
No. It's going to keep running. When are these two values going to change? When is it going to get to these two lines of code?
When it gets to 0 and 3.
Whenever input array of I, whenever the part no listed is in, is less than our starting position of lowest number, our starting value.
And we'll switch like
Which number in input array could be less than our lowest number?
0.
So when it gets to position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to ask, is position 4 here set to false?
Yes.
It is. That doesn't equal the current lowest position. Then it's going to say, is input array at position 4 less than our current lowest number? And is it?
Yes.
So it fits the line 52. Lowest number equals input array of I, equals that new number 0.
0.
And input position will become
3. No. This is 0, right?
lowest position equals I. What's I right now, you guys?
4.
There we go. Is anyone lost? Is anyone confused but afraid to raise their hand and ask a question? Seriously, don't hesitate, because if you